Welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. And as our weekly analysis usually helps everyone for the week's trading, we will start with the indexes analysis first, and then the stocks that are requested by members on the call and by our GMT members. So we will start with Dow Jones first. For Dow Jones on the weekly chart, as you all can see, there's a strong reversal. Last week was bullish, almost a green Marubazu close on Friday. Williams R has curved up. It is currently at minus 36, not reached in overbought region, which means on the weekly trend, there's still some upside on the DJI. Looking at the chart, even from the resistance, it has a resistance close to 34,000. It closed at 33,275. So almost 7,000 points further it could go up. This could be the resistance band, and with the Marubazu closing for DJI on the weekly trend, can still expect next week to continue further. If you look on the daily chart, however, it has reached the overbought region. Williams R is at minus 0.9, which is very close to zero and has almost flattened. However, since it has formed Marubazu candle on the daily chart as well, it could go slightly further up before it takes a small correction on the daily chart. So watch out for the level of 33,450, which it could either go within the first 1.5 to 2 hours of the trading hours on Monday or in the pre-market, and we could expect some correction at least on the daily chart before giving a weekly positive closer. We have had almost three white candles or white crows. So bullishness in the trend is strong. The sentiment is still bullish. For the daily chart, if you look at the resistance on the daily chart, it's similar to what we saw on the weekly chart. In fact, the daily chart resistance is at 34,235, which is almost about 1,000 points up. So if you are holding any of the stock long position from the trend, daily and weekly trend, the bullish sentiment is clear. You can book some of the profits that you are having on your long positions, and once it takes a small correction, you can add to your positions again. Potentially 10 to 25% position you could book profit, be on cash, and then once it takes a small correction, it could have support close to 32,700, which means about 500 points it could drop, and then that could be a good buy zone again for it to take further till its higher resistance. So overall, even though it is in the overbought region, the strength on the weekly chart still shows a further continuation of bullish trend, even with the higher resistance on the daily chart, can expect it to go further up. At this point, if you are planning to take a new entry, it would be good to wait for it to take the correction and buy near this support range or the mid Bollinger Band once it takes correction. You could expect Williams R to drop on close to 50, and once it shows reversal, then you can plan to enter. Looking at Nasdaq 100, let's see first on the weekly chart. So for NDX, it is touching almost the upper Bollinger Band, which is at 13,222. It has closed at a high of 13,181. So with this candle, you can expect it to open higher, and since it is in the overbought region on the weekly chart as well, it is Williams R is at minus 0.3. With overbought region even on the weekly chart for Nasdaq 100, you can expect it to have correction on the weekly trend. It has a very weak resistance at close to 13,500. But if you are already in profit in your Nasdaq listed stocks, it's good time to book your profits even on the weekly trend. Looking on the daily chart, again, the last candle based on Friday's bullish sentiment, you see it has had a green Maruvaza candle, which means it could easily go up to 13,200 on Monday. And this resistance, it could go up to the resistance or might face sell-off even before that resistance. Since the Williams R, it has already almost flattened and could potentially turn downward once we see profit booking happening here. So it's good time to book your profits if you are in long position. At least small portion of your positions you could book. In terms of re-entry or those who would like to have a fresh entry, there's a support close to 12,900, and this mid Bollinger Band, which is currently at 12,680, it could climb up at this range of this small band of 13,800 to 13,900 for support. So for those who are looking to enter or add to your current positions, this looks to be a good buying zone. Wait for the Williams R to reverse down, take a support at this range, and once it shows reversal, you can add to your positions. It's interesting to see on the monthly chart. In the monthly chart, its upper Bollinger Band is at 14,200. Currently, we are at 13, close to 13,200. So still there is an upside of almost 1,000 on the monthly chart. So for those who would like to hold longer, it still has an upside, but wait for the correction both on the weekly chart and on the daily chart for entering or for adding to your positions.
So you're talking about entering the Nasdaq itself or Nasdaq related stocks? So when you say Nasdaq coming to the correction level.
Yeah. So those who are trading on ETFs, Nasdaq 100 related ETF, I'll be covering those as well. QQQ, TQQ, SQQ. So this analysis applies for ETFs related to Nasdaq and leverage ETF or normal ETF, which are following Nasdaq 100. For the stocks that are listed on Nasdaq, the major stocks, the large cap stocks that move on the movement of those stocks drive the movement of Nasdaq index itself. You would see similar movement of major large caps listed on Nasdaq as well. So essentially, it directly applies to those who are trading with the ETFs, and for the stocks that are listed on the Nasdaq exchange, it does applies, but individual stocks analysis would be more accurate for trading on the stocks. If you are trading on the ETFs, this analysis directly applies. Does that answer your question?
Exactly. Thank you.
Great. That was good question. Thanks for asking. Let's see. Since this was asked, let's cover QQQ right now, so it will be clear what I mentioned now. So QQQ is an ETF which follows Nasdaq 100, and if we look on the weekly or daily chart, monthly chart, you will see almost the same trend what we saw on Nasdaq 100. It's almost touching the upper Bollinger Band. Upper Bollinger Band here is at 322. It closed to 321.17 was high on Friday. You can expect it to touch 322. And since it is in overbought region on the weekly trend, we can expect correction on the weekly chart as well for QQQ. If we look at the daily chart, it has closed above the upper Bollinger Band, which was at 319.40. Williams R has flattened. With the profit booking happening on Monday and coming days, we can see some correction here. For those who would be planning to add to the long position, buy range would be from 312 to 314, and waiting for a reversal would be good. So the buy range at this are for those who are already holding position to add to the existing positions. And if you are planning to take a fresh entry, wait for the reversal on the Williams R or any trend indicator that you are used to, RSI or CCI. Currently, mid Bollinger Band is at 308. It could move up to the lower side of this support band, close to 312. That could be a good buying range. Similar to QQQ, the other ETFs that follow Nasdaq 100, TQQ, looking on the weekly chart, it closed at 28.26. On the weekly chart, it's already in the overbought region. So you can expect it to correct. And if you haven't booked your profits yet, for those who are taking swing trades, it's good time to book your profits and wait for the correction for entering. It's at the upper side of the resistance band. So for TQQ, we can expect it to go close to 28.32, which was already high. Since it has formed a Marubazu candle, it could go close to 28.5, although that's not shown by the indicators. With this candle, the candle that it has formed last day, it could give a higher opening, and then profit booking could happen and the price could drop. Based on the indicator as well, we can easily expect correction for TQQ as well, which obviously follows Nasdaq 100 and QQQ. So booking profit at the start of Monday market would be good for those who are on TQQ. Reverse of TQQ, the inverse ETF SQQ. Let's see from the weekly chart first. From the weekly chart, Williams R is almost at close to -100. The lower Bollinger Band has flattened. Since the lower Bollinger Band is at 2690, can expect another drop around close to 60 cents. But hopefully it would take support, and once Nasdaq 100 takes correction, this should start reversing up. Both on daily and weekly chart, it is in oversold region, which means it is good to enter, but I would recommend entering after the second half on Monday. Once you start noticing profit booking happening on Nasdaq or QQQ, and wait for confirmation until the second half. You can plan to buy once you see reversal happening on the 1 hour chart for SQQ. Then you can start planning to enter. As of the 1 hour chart, you can see still it has not reached the lower Bollinger Band. So you can watch on 1 hour chart, and once you see confirmation of reversal on 1 hour chart by around 12 or 12:30, you can plan to enter on SQQ. The targets for SQQ, see on the 4 hour chart. Yeah. So entry around the current price or close to 29, which is very close to the lower Bollinger Band level, 28.8. Buy around 29 with the first target of 31 and second target of 33. This we are seeing on the 4 hour chart. We look on the 1 hour chart, mid Bollinger Band is at 33. So the second target, which I mentioned on the 4 hour chart, could easily be possible once it reverses. So this would be a very short-term trade, since the market sentiment, overall market sentiment on the daily and weekly chart on the major indexes, DJI and Nasdaq 100, we saw has turned bullish. So trading on inverse ETFs should be very short-term trade. Taking any position for longer duration would not be recommended, because the market direction has turned bullish, looking from a longer term perspective. And these trades with the inverse ETFs should be very quick short-term trades, just for 1 to 2 days. And same goes with those who are trading with puts with the major stocks. So Vaibhav, if you are holding some of the SQQ positions, my recommendation would be that tomorrow second half you could average down by increasing your position and plan to exit around 31 or 33 depending on how strong is the market correction.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Let's go to PQQ. Any questions so far on TQQ, SQQ, or QQQ? Vaibhav, Hitesh?
Kamal, I just want to know on SR channel, what's that gray area? The gray zone.
This gray zone is basically the resistance channel, but since it has not had the red candle yet, so it is showing as gray because it is holding the candle within the same channel.
Okay. Got it.
So once, if we see on Monday, TQQ price closing below this band, you will see this gray converting to red.
Okay.
It's confirmation of resistance band or resistance channel.
Okay. Thanks.
What channel is this gray? Like, is there an indicator for that?
Yeah, this is indicator is SR channel, support resistance channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So usually you will see resistance band, it shows in red color. In this particular case, it is showing gray. That's why Weber was why this is showing gray.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for checking.
Kamal bhai, on this indicator, do you change or tweak any settings, or they are used by default as it is?
I do have a shorter interval setting, pivot and maximum channel depth I have for this is smaller values compared to default.
So those are valid for day.
Yeah, so
Mostly for day.
yes,
Okay.
for day or very short duration swing trades.
Got it. Thank you.
Any more questions? Vivek, Hitesh? Since someone has joined with stocks. Okay. If there are no questions with TQQ and SQQ, we will move to SPY. Or let's take SPX. So for SPX on the weekly chart, it's clear that it is bullish. The Williams has not yet reached the overbought region. It's almost at the edge. So this week we can expect it to go further up. It has closed at 4,109 and upper Bollinger Band is at 4,131, which is almost about 22 points further up. And with that, Williams would also be in oversold region. So at the start of the week, we can expect it to go slightly further up and then see correction and the indicators coming in overbought region. So for this week, let's also look at the daily chart. On daily chart, the small resistance channel is close to at 4177, so about 80 points. The Williams is already in the overbought region. So looking at the SPX index, it is similar to what we saw on Nasdaq. Only difference is that in the weekly chart we see little upside remaining. which could happen at the start of the week, potentially Monday, Tuesday, and then we should see correction on the SPX index as well. So the stocks that you would have already in your portfolio, if you are already in profit, it's good time to book your profits at the start of the week on Monday itself. Especially if you would have entered last week or last to last week or prior to that, you might be in good profit. So worth booking your profits and waiting for the correction for re-entry. For SPX, there's weak support here, but if it takes correction, looking at the weekly chart, the correction would be further correction. Since on the weekly chart, it has had almost 3 green candles. The correction it could, once it takes, it could come down to 4,000 or 4,050. So in summary, the start of week looks good for booking profits and then waiting for correction. At least from the major indexes point of view, this week could be for a little upside at the start and then correction. So for those who are already in the profit positions, please plan to book your profit at least partially. Recommendation would be to book profits on your positions at least 50%. In some cases, if you want to hold much longer, book profits for 20 to 25% of your positions, and then you can use the cash for re-entry once it takes small correction and moves further up. Any questions here?
Kamal, can you please check SPY as well? I know it will be same, almost same, but just want to verify levels with you.
Sure. Yeah. So for SPY, weekly upper Bollinger Band is at 412. Currently, it is at 409. And with its ATR, it should be able to touch the upper Bollinger Band on Monday. As you could see, Williams R is almost at the edge of getting into overbought region. And only good thing on the daily chart is the upper Bollinger Band has curved up. That's why it has given a closing above the upper Bollinger Band. But the upside is small. So 412 to 414. If the bullishness is higher, it could come to this resistance range, which is at 416. So about $7. Let's see ATR, current ATR on the daily chart.
Yeah, it's around $6. Yeah,
it's $6. Okay, right. So with $6 of ATR, at max it could go to 416, face resistance at this point and come down. However, I would expect those who are already on it to start selling at 413, 414, and you can see the correction happening on Monday. Potentially after first 2 hours or around initial 2 hours of the trading hours.
So Kamal, do you think it's a good idea to enter mid Bollinger Band kaput when it starts reversal?
mid Bollinger Band put, if you want to buy, I would say your it has on the monthly chart as well, it has given a closing above the mid Bollinger Band. For buying a put, I would say should look for 410. 400 put would be better. Yeah, mid Bollinger Band is currently at 398. If it opens at higher price, at let's say even at 410 or 412, you would see mid Bollinger Band coming up to 400. So you could plan for 400 put. Once you see confirmation of a reversal on the 1 hour chart. So it's almost touching this touch the upper Bollinger Band, but since the upper Bollinger Band is still upwards, once you notice correction on the 1 hour chart, then you can take a put of 404. But I would suggest, if you are buying a put, buy in very less quantity or less amount, since the market sentiment has turned bullish. Yeah, so taking any put or inverse ETF, as I mentioned some time back, is kind of a less rewarding. If you are preferring, just plan for very short duration.
Yeah.
So you can enter, and if you are in profit, and depending upon how much quantity you are buying, you can close your position, and then rather watch for its reversal and take a long position, a call or a stock long position.
Okay.
Okay. So with the current levels, the buy range would be again 400. You would notice the mid Bollinger Band coming upward. It's currently at 410. If we enter at 400, 416 could be the first target. And on the weekly chart, the resistance band starts at 427. So 427 to 433. Your next target could easily be 430. So buy at 400 for a target of 415 as first target and 430 as the second target. Around 430 as second target.
Okay.
Okay, so if you are buying call, once you get a confirmation of reversal around 400, you could actually buy a call of strike 430 for 4 to 6 weeks away expiry. Fine.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on SPY, or are we good to move to the stock request in the chat? Yes. Let's make it darker. Okay, fine. So let's take Tesla, and Vivek, then we'll come to your request. Okay. I know Atul had also question about Tesla in terms of its resistance level. So looking at the weekly chart, it has formed 3 white crows or 3 green candles, and we can expect it to go at least till this small resistance channel, which is at 216. And with Tesla's ATR, it's possible to reach 216 in the next session. Although it is at the overbought region, so if you are already in profit and on a short-term swing trade, it's still good to book profit. Let's see on the weekly chart, the resistance band is at 213 or 214. So if you are already on Tesla in the short-term swing trade, 213 to 14 could be a good price for you to book profit tomorrow, and then wait for it to correct. With this green Marubazu candle, can easily expect it to touch and 210 and cross 210 to reach around 213 to 14. Now booking profit even at 210 is still better, because you can expect others to start booking profit. It's already in overbought region, and once it corrects, then for fresh buy or for re-entry, the buy range would be close to 192 or 195. Based on tomorrow's high, you can expect mid Bollinger Band to move further up, and it could come at this, although it's not showing a support band here, but close to 197. Let's see on this shorter interval, does it show? Yes. On the shorter interval on 4-hour chart, you can see there is a support band close to 197. So this could be a good buying range for those who would like to enter Tesla again for a swing trade. Three and lower Bollinger Band is here at 194. Yeah, 194 to 197 could be a good buy range once it takes a small correction. And for those who would like to buy call once it takes correction at around 195, the strike price that you could choose 245. Let's see, there should be a there's a gap here. Low is 264, and high here is 254. Okay, so take strike price 245 or 250 for a call of around 6 to 8 weeks after it takes correction. With this green candle, let it drop, face the correction. It could most likely take support at the mid Bollinger Band as it had done previously. And 197, buy either, if you are trading in stock, buy at 197 for first target, small target at 130. This was at 216 for the first target of 216, and the second target would be 233, third target 245 for those who are trading in stock. For those who are trading options, same, once it takes support at 197, you could buy a call for 6 to 8 weeks expiry of either 235 strike or 250 or 245 strike, depending upon the premium of the call option. For this week, it's good to watch for it to correct. It could reach 197 this week. If not, then entry could be in the next week. If you are holding for longer term and would not like to close the position, you could still continue holding it for it to reach 230 or 240 would be good time to book your profit, especially if you have bought under 170. $70 profit, $70 to $75 profit would be good to hold for another 2 months time. With Tesla's ATR, it could be even faster as well, but in the safe case, it could get that in about 2 months time. Okay. Any questions on Tesla? Hitesh? So let's continue with che.un. Vivek has asked che.un.
It's in TSX, Kamal.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm keen to see how much is the dividend. 7.64. That's nice. Great. So dividend payout. So ex-dividend date was 30th, and that's why it has dropped. That's expected. So on the weekly chart, support is further down, 7.34. Although it's in overbought region, with this candle, it's almost like bearish engulfing candle. So I would say just keep in watch list. 7.5 to 7.4. Keep in watch list for now. Let it drop to 7.5, and once you see it reversing and taking support around 7.5, then you can plan to enter. It's already in overbought region, both in daily and weekly chart, but still further drop is expected. And once it takes support around 7.5, you can plan to enter for your targets. And this gives
It's monthly dividend, and it's based on chemicals, so it's gonna be there for a while.
And since it has monthly dividend and the dividend payout is towards the end of the month, you still have time, so you can watch this week. If it is around 7.5, then you can enter for holding it till end of the month so that you get the dividend. And your targets could be 8.8. 8.8 could be your first target. 8.3, and the mid Bollinger Band is also 8.8. Yeah, you can hold until 8.8 as your first target. Hopefully, by that time you will get at least one dividend as well. And the second target would be close to $10. So buy around 7.5 for first target 8.8 and second target 10. Since it is currently downward, once it reverses, it could take some time to reach the mid Bollinger Band and the upper Bollinger Band, closer to upper Bollinger Band levels. By that time, at least you can collect dividends.
Yeah, Kamal, I'm looking for dividends only in this. So
dividend with also with small growth is also there. So that's an add-on, right?
Definitely.
Okay, awesome. Okay, yeah. So your plan to enter around 7.4 is good. So 7.4 would be your support level. Once it reverses, you can buy it around 7.5. Okay.
Thank you.
So your analysis is also absolutely correct. Now let's take NWH. NWH. Okay. On the weekly chart, it has with the green candle on the weekly chart, it has shown reversal on the Williams R with the selling that has happened on the last 2 days. You wait to see whether it breaks this low of 8.32.
Sure.
Monday and Tuesday. Just watch. It's already in over sold region, but because it has turned downward, once it is closer to 99 again on Williams R, then you can plan to enter. 8.32 is the low. See on the monthly chart. Previous low here was 8.4. Currently it is at 8.47. Yeah, so it is almost at the same low when it was last year in April. Not even last to last year in April. So it's definitely at the buy zone, but just wait that it doesn't break this low of 8.3. And for buying, lower Bollinger Band here is at 8.31 again. So once it touches 8.3 and it reverses from there, you can plan to buy. In fact, if you buy 5 cents higher, that's still okay, but wait for confirmation. So buy around 8.35 or 8.4 once it reverses.
Sure.
For your first target of $9, there's a small resistance band here at 9.35. Yeah, so you can buy at 8.35 to 8.4 for your first target of 9.35.
Okay.
By the time
This is again a monthly dividend that came up on my screener. So yeah. But this is on more on healthcare side, so it will stay for some time.
Yeah, if you compare with the previous one, it has dividend yield of 9.45. So if you buy at even 8.4, you would get close to 9.5% dividend divided by 12 because it's a monthly dividend. So that's still a good return along with upside of at least $1. Even if you are looking for holding until mid Bollinger Band, and its dividend payout again is end of the month, so you would be holding it at least for a month. So among the two, this one looks good. It's just that we watch it so that it doesn't break the last week's low.
Okay.
And next is BAC. Bank of America. It has 3% dividend on the weekly chart. It has had a clear reversal Yeah, it took reversal from its support on the weekly chart. On the daily chart, it is at the mid Bollinger Band range. It has formed a narrow Bollinger Band, but with looking at the weekly chart, that once it touches the upper Bollinger Band, it could go further up as well. So even if you buy at the current level, looking at the last candle, it's a dragonfly doji. So even if you buy at the current price, your target you could hold for the higher resistance level, not necessarily 33. Let's see, 32, and there is a resistance band here, 29 to 30.7. So if you buy at 28.6, you could look for target at 30.6, which is about $2 of return. And the second target could be 32, which is mid Bollinger Band on weekly chart. If you plan to hold longer, next target could be 36, 36.6, 35.6 here to 36.6. So this looks a good potential if you are planning to buy and hold. Again, this is Bank of America with 3% dividend. I believe the dividend in this case would be weekly, quarterly dividend.
Quarterly, yeah.
So buy at 28.6 for first target of 30.6, second target 32, and third target of 36.6 with dividends. So this is looking good for buying, even if you're planning to buy on Monday in the pre-market as well, because it's listed on NYSE. So your analysis of reversal and your target of 32 is absolutely right, depending upon how long you are planning to hold. Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
small position.
yeah, good. Good to, you can actually take bigger position as well, because on the weekly chart, it looks good. So since it's a Bank of America, all the negative news is most likely overcome, and Bank of America might have taken steps to avoid any further damage.
Mhm.
So looking at that, it could be good potential. If you look at, yeah, on the monthly chart, it is lower, it is under lower Bollinger Band. So it's a good buy. You can plan to buy it tomorrow if you wish.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's take ENPH. ENPH, Enphase Energy, Nasdaq. Chart. On the weekly chart, it has reversed. Both on the chart, lower Bollinger Band has curved up. It was in downtrend, that's why mid Bollinger Band and upper Bollinger Band is still downwards. The good thing is that it has given reversal from the lower Bollinger Band and from the candle formation. So it has closed above its support band. So if you are already on it, you can consider to hold. Are you already on this trade, or you are planning to enter?
Yeah, I'm already in.
Okay. That's great. So it has good upside. Looking at the weekly chart, currently it is at 210. So you could look for first target close to 237. And when it has reached to that level, it could face small resistance around the mid Bollinger Band close to 222. If you want to book some of the profit, you could plan to book at around this range and hold remaining for the higher target of 237 and also around close to 250. The upper Bollinger Band is here is 253. You can plan to hold for the target close to 250. So it definitely has upside, looking especially on the weekly chart. Although on the daily chart, because it's listed on NASDAQ and based on NASDAQ's trend, NASDAQ could have small correction. If you have entered under 200, you can still consider to hold. Since
No, I entered last Friday at the end.
Okay, so if you have entered at 210, still you have bought very close to the support band on the daily chart. So even if your position goes negative for some time because of the correction on the NASDAQ itself, you could still consider to hold, and your stop loss, you could keep a stop loss at 180. 180 could be your stop loss. And that's based on this low. Or if you are looking at a good risk reward ratio, if you are bought at 210 with your first target at 238, or if you are having 220 as your first target, then your stop loss should be 92. Yeah, then your stop loss should be 198. And if you are planning to hold for the higher target of 237, then your stop loss, you can keep this as the stop loss, 182 or 180. Although with the pattern that I am seeing here, since the lower Bollinger Band has curved up, I don't expect it to go even at a low of 190. Your 190 could be your stop loss as well, even if you are aiming at 237 as your target. So from the target perspective, your targets could be 220, 238, and 250, and your stop loss one as 198 and 190, depending on how long you are planning to hold. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to stay for a week.
Okay, then you can look for 237 as the target, and even if your position is low, you can consider to hold. I see that it has higher probability of going further up, easily up to the mid Bollinger Band and above as well. By that time, if NASDAQ has reversed, it can easily go up to your target close to 238 or even 250 in the longer duration. This could easily take 6 to 8 weeks. So if you are okay holding that long, you could get this target. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So with that, I think I have covered all the requests in the chat. Any last stock request for the day? Atul, EVA. So let's take this as the last request for the day.
Yes, thanks, Kamal.
You're welcome. EVA. Enroll. That's great. So it looks to be a very good find. Looking at the weekly chart, it was outside the lower Bollinger Band, and on the last week, it got pulled in and is currently in the support range, support band range, and the Williams R has reversed up. If you look on the daily chart, it has almost formed a bullish engulfing candle and has covered almost 2 to 3 candles. So Atul, have you entered this or has it come up in your screener?
I didn't enter it. I'm just came from the screener and I just shorted to, for entering.
Okay, perfect. So this looks to be a very good find from the screener. As you can see, it has reversed up. For this, you can plan to enter this at the market open. Even if you want to open in the pre-market, you can enter in the pre-market as well. And can plan to enter around 28.65 or 28.7.
Okay.
Either in the pre-market or at the market open. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, Kamal.
May I know your targets, or do you want me to?
Yeah, it will help to target because I saw it's showing some sell signal, right? In your chart, I saw somewhere.
That would be on the
1 hour.
Yeah, on the 1 hour, it has sell, but this is a zigzag indicator. So whatever peak it finds, it moves the sell tag based on the peak. From the indicator, it shows sell, which means it will drop a bit, but the support band here is at 28.6. So it will take support here and then continue further up.
Okay.
For those who have already entered on Friday, if they would have entered, let's say, closer to the lower Bollinger Band around 27. So those who are trading on 1 hour chart, for them it's a sell because it has gone above the upper Bollinger Band here, and this current level is very close to the upper Bollinger Band. That's why for those who are trading at shorter interval, it's a sell signal. For those who are going to take swing trade, it had given buy here current, and on the last session it took again support at the lower Bollinger Band and is going to continue further up.
Target will be 32 around, right?
Okay, so let's talk about the targets. Currently it is at 28.9. I see a resistance here close to 31, and upper Bollinger Band is showing 31.66. Let's see on the 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart as well, upper Bollinger Band 29.5. What's the resistance you are looking? What is the resistance level that you are expecting?
For me?
What resistance level are you expecting?
I'm expecting, that 31, the now current cursor, na, that is a, yeah.
Yes. So this is the first resistance, as you can see, almost 4 candles. So 31 would be your first resistance. If you are planning to enter this for very short-term swing trade. Okay. But if you are planning to hold this for a little longer, from the weekly chart, it has potential to go further up. But decide to close your position depending upon how much time it takes to reach the level close to 31 and the upper Bollinger Band. If it reaches within a week, you can book profit from your 50% position and hold remaining for higher target. The next target would be close to 36.5. If it takes too long, if it takes 2 to 3 weeks, then you can book profit on your 100% of your position. Okay. So Vivek has requested for BTC USDT, and let's take that as the last request for the day. Yes.
Perpetual, man.
Okay, so perpetual, you might be trading in futures.
I think the first one.
First one will give
Mhm.
Binance. Okay, you are-
Binance. No.
Pricing. Why is it just given? Let's 28,450 is the current price.
Hold on, just give me a second. It's 2816.
2816. Okay, so let me just take this first. Okay, and for some reason continuous contract. Are you trading in futures?
Yes, Kamal.
Oh, this is 28,748 is showing BTC futures. Continuous contract. Yeah, current contract is this one, 28,740.
Just give me a second. Let me see mine. You put BTC USDT.P. Oh, no, that's still not coming up. Oh,
Okay, it has come. Is this the one, 28,106?
Yep.
Okay, okay. So let's take this. I would like to see on the weekly chart. Okay, so
no,
if
you can go to daily, man.
yeah, I'm just looking on the weekly chart first. It's in the overbought region on the daily chart. On the daily chart, it has given sell already because it was outside the upper Bollinger Band and is dropping. So if you want to buy put, it looks good, and you can buy a strike of 27,000.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
27,000 put. Or if you want to be more conservative, then 27,450. But again, put.
Yep.
With this bearish engulfing and with BTC, the drop could be fast.
Yeah, man, this is amazing. This one. Contractors.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, well, most welcome. So with that, I think we have covered all the requests here. There is, okay, so I see one request for BLS International. There's one request on YouTube. So let me take this as the last one. BLS International. One of our YouTube member has requested for BLS. Interesting. So almost 9.55% up. It has closed on Friday. This is listed on NSE. So it's an Indian stock. Okay, so with that move, it has closed already at the mid Bollinger Band. Although on weekly chart, it's still upwards. It has had small gap up opening and then continued further up. So with the current price and the trend, it is almost at the level where it had faced resistance previously and is at the mid Bollinger Band. So if you are on it, you can consider to book your profit, or if you are planning to enter, it would be good to wait for it to take small correction. Although with the buying that has happened on Friday, I expect some more retail traders to enter and it could go slightly further up as well from 165 to 176. But the upside is not that much. At the current price, it could just be a rally continuation, one more session, but definitely not at a buy price if you are planning to enter now. So as a conservative trader, my recommendation would be to wait for it to correct, even though it has given almost 9.55% move on the last session and could still go further up. But instead of trying to ride the rally, it would be more safer to wait for it to correct and buy around 155, 160. Yeah, 156. 156 could be a good buy range. So wait for it to correct on the 2-hour chart, and let's see on the 1-hour chart. Yeah. $155, $156. So I would suggest to wait for it to correct and buy around 156 if you are planning to enter. If you are already on it, you can watch how it trades in the first half on Monday. If you see market is pulling the rally further up, you can plan to book your profits close to, it's already in overbought region. So you can plan to book your profit close to 175 if you are already on it. If you are planning to enter, wait for it to correct and buy at around 156. Okay. To buy around 156 for the target price of around 175 or even 180. That could be higher side of your target. Of your target one. Target two would be around 185. So buy around 155 for TP1 175 and TP2 as 185. Okay. Wait for the correction and then buy once it gives a small correction. Okay, hope it helps, Asif. And with that, we will wrap it up for today. So thanks all for joining. And if you have any further questions on the analysis that we have done today, any of the stocks that you would like to be analyzed separately as well, please feel free to message in the GMT group and we will be happy to analyze and share. In summary, for this week, expect profit booking to happen at the start of the week. So if you have already entered the trade, plan to book your profits at the start of the week and wait for the correction to happen either towards the end of the week or next week to enter for long positions. If you are on inverse ETF or on puts, plan to book your profit by end of the week so you can have cash to enter for long positions or for calls. With that, hope you all have a good profitable week and see you all in the next week's analysis session.